Hello friends, welcome to Nigra Techies. This is our Angular 15 Material UI tutorial. And part of this video, let's talk about autocomplete in Angular application. Now let me go to my application, and here already I have installed this Material UI packages and then created the common model for this Material UI. For the reference, I'm going to open the official site of Angular Material. So today we are going to implement this autocomplete component only. So the first thing is we have to import this API. So API is nothing but a model. So in our common material model, I am just importing this autocomplete package, and the model name is mat autocomplete model. Let me export here. Okay, this is the first step. And as I mentioned in my previous video, I am going to create the separate component for each and every material UI components. For implementing this autocomplete, I am going to create one new component first. ng generate component. We can have all of our component in the folder of component autocomplete. Okay, fine. The component is created. Then we have to include in our routing section. I mean the routing model. And the component, our autocomplete component. Okay. The same way, I'm going to include one more item. That is our input. We have done in our last video. And in my app component, let me remove this one. We can have one text. Here we can have one div also. Okay, this is somewhat fine. So if I'm going to the input, the previous one, okay, we have this input control and also our select control. So now our autocomplete. Okay, so the text is coming from our component. Okay, so now let me start the implementation. And here also we can have one form with one input control. Okay, and then I'm going to include this mat autocomplete. So it have this mat option. First let me have some default value. Okay, so let me save this one, and if I'm checked in this browser, nothing will show. So the reason is we have the separate input control and also this mat autocomplete. So we have to provide the connection in between. Okay, so for doing this one, I'm going to use one of the property mat autocomplete and auto. So basically this is the kind of ID, so that I supposed to define in our mat autocomplete control. Okay, so we can move everything into our form field. So we can save this one. See now, so the data are coming. So currently we have these three static records and nothing is selected. So if I'm hovering, then only it will be selected. Okay, and in this autocomplete we have one more option. We can set the first one is as the selected one. For doing this one, we have to include one directive. So auto active first option. So let me save this one. See, so defaultly the first option is selected. Even if I'm refreshing, see, the first option is selected. If I'm entering, so nothing will be added because the value section we have not included anything. For the example purpose, I'm going to provide one hardcode value. See, it is added. So this is the static data. Instead of that, I'm going to have one static array in our TS file. So we can load the data from our array. Okay. For this implementation, let me have this array. We can have the same three values. Hello. So let me copy this one and in our autocomplete. So let me remove this one, and here we can, and in this mat option we can have this ng for. So whatever value is coming, we can bind it here. And also in this ID section. And also in this value section. Okay. So let me make this into a property binding. See now, again we have these three values. So if I'm selecting the green, it is selected. And see, we have this tick mark. And the similar way, if I'm selecting this yellow, so we have this tick mark. So currently, we just loaded the data from our static array. And the next thing is, I'm going to implement the search option. So if I'm entering rate, it's supposed to save only this rate. For doing this implementation, again, let me go to the TS file. Here we can implement the lifecycle hook on it. We can implement this interface. Okay. And the declaration, we can have it in the top of that. So next, let me declare one more variable, that is for the filter option. That is kind of string observable array. Okay, great. The declaration is done. And the next thing is, I am going to declare one form control. So basically this form control belongs to this reactive forms. So we have to import the reactive form model. Reactive form model, yeah, this is fine. New form control, okay. And the initial value should be empty. So let me copy this one, and in our HTML side, for the input, we can include like form control name. We can give like this. So it should be form control. That's why I'm getting this error. So let me remove this one, this name. Okay, the exception got resolved. Now we have the control. That's it. And next I'm going to define one function. Filter. And it is having the input is one string value. And our output should be string array. Okay. So whatever value is coming, I'm going to convert this into lowercase. And in our static array, we can apply the filter option. Option dot to lowercase. Finally, includes so this search value. Okay. So the function is very simple. So we have the default array, and there we are filtering based on our input value. Okay. And the next thing in our ng on int, we can set the values for our filter options, and this dot and our control. So here we can apply the pipe option. Okay. And it is having two parameters. The first one is starting with empty, and we can use the map option. So this map and start with both are belongs to the RxJS. So this dot underscore filter the value or else empty. There is no value. So let me format this one and we can save it. So let me refresh the screen. Okay. So see now if I'm typing like okay, nothing is changed. The reason is still I am binding this color array. So instead of that we have to use this filter option, and this is the observable one. So we have to apply this asynchronous pipe. Okay. So let me search now. See G green. So if I'm type yellow, okay, this is working fine. So as of now, we just loaded from one of the string array. So next what I'm going to do, so instead of this hardcode data, I'm going to load the data from the services, and there I'm going to use the list array instead of having this direct string array. So we can have this code name, some other properties also. Okay. So first what I'm going to do, let me create one service, ng generate service, and in this folder of service we can see it is the master service. Okay. Okay, this is generated fine. And in the service, so let me declare one function, get color list. Okay. And I'm going to create one entity also. So here we can have our class. So in this Angular application, we will define using this interface keyword, color entity. Export interface, this color entity. So here I'm going to have first one is ID and the next one is name. Okay. So we may include different properties. For the testing purpose, I just included two items only. Okay. And next, in our function, I can say the return type, the color entity array. So from here, I am going to return some static data. Color 1. The similar way, I am going to include two more objects. So we can save this one, and our service is ready. Now in our component side, I am going to have this constructor. So here I am going to inject our service, and our service name is master services. Next, let me declare one array, color array list. Okay, and our entity is color entity. That's it. Now I'm going to call our services, and our function. So it is not the observable one, so there is no need to subscribe anything. We can directly call this function. Okay, and for this filter I'm going to create one more new function, list filter. Okay, and instead of this string array we can have this color entity array. For this color array we can use color array list. Okay, and next, first I'm going to search with this name. Okay, so the function is ready. So next in our ng on into function, I'm going to command the existing item. So we can declare one more filter option, filter options list. Okay, and this should be color entity observable array. So here the value should be filter options list equal to. So instead of this filter we can use our list filter. That's it. Okay, for the binding also, let me copy this one. So in our component side, I mean the HTML side, I'm changing this one. So in this item object we have the two properties. The first one is code and another one is the name. So in this value side I can use this code, and in our text area we have to include this name. I hope we will get the same output. Okay, filter option list does not exist. Okay, again this is same. I actually not saved. That's it. So it is working fine. So maybe I can include one more color, then only we will know the difference. The C4 should be white. C0 should be black. See? So currently we have these 5 values, and if I'm trying to search also, red and white. So currently we have fetched the data from our services, and we have applied our filter condition also. Okay, but we know the code, right? So if I'm selecting this one, the C1 is coming. So the same way, if I'm selecting this yellow, it is C3. So my intention is I'm trying to search within this code C3. So the value is not coming because in this search function we have included only this name. So if you want include code and the name, so then you have to do one small change in our search function. So using this or condition, you have to specify this code also. See now, if I'm giving like this, everything will come. It is C4, see the white color. If it is C5, nothing is there. If I give C0, that should be our black. Okay. And in some autocompletes, we can see like the code and the name also. So that is the small thing. So we can achieve from our HTML side itself. So let me take this one. we can include some separator. See, now clearly we know the code and name. So in this real-time scenario, some of the sales screens you may see creating the invoice, the user will select the product. Okay, that time in this autocomplete, this code and name, maybe the price also they will load. C3, yeah. And if I'm searching yellow, again, same. Okay, this is the way our material UA autocomplete will work. So if required, we can include more customization for displaying the data. So instead of the text, we can show some images also. So now we are in the end of the video. Still, if you have any doubts or clarification, please post in the comment box, and also please don't forget to subscribe my channel. So in my next video, I will come up with one of the interesting topic. Thank you. Thanks for watching.